Hey traders, TG Watkins here. It is June 15th when I'm recording this, and just wanted to let you guys all know that I put out a market update video just the other day. So you can come check it out. I'll put the link in the description on this YouTube thing, and then otherwise you can look at it at Simpler Trading YouTube page also and just search for me, or it just came out recently, so go look at that. I think there's a lot of good stuff in here, and in fact I reference quite a few things from my first market update back in March. So a lot of things are coming along, and the thing that I talked about in March is also coming true, so it's good to do a nice little follow-up. Also, if we look at the internals, it is great. We are seeing great participation. Now, of course, you might be looking at this and saying, well, duh, I mean, look, the SPY went straight up. Yes, it is, but what's happening is more names are coming along with this move up. Now, yes, it's getting a little bit frothy. We need to be careful about this, but it is good to see that participation is broadening out, and definitely happy to see that. The other thing that we can look at is if you look in through here, down on the new high, new low, other than a peak, let me kind of change my color there, other than a blip right there, we are also starting to see more sustained participation. Okay, so that's kind of what I'm looking at, is it's broadening out, it's looking pretty good. And then if we come over here, we can see the same thing is, ever since there, you can see that's when it broke out, and we really got a lot of good support. That's the 200-day, 50-day, and 20-day. So yeah, good stuff. Now, as I said, yeah, the market is getting pretty frothy. Let me show you also this. This is the RSP, which is the equal weight S&P. And the thing that we were dealing with over the last few weeks, basically mid-April, is we could see that the equal weight was just not doing well, meaning that even though the regular S&P and the NASDAQ were going up, which of course, a handful of names were carrying the indexes in the market, the rest of it was not doing well. Well, all of a sudden, that has changed. Boom, big move, okay? So yes, things are shaping up, and look at this, even with the RSP, here's your double bottom, there's your positive divergence, and we could even see that on the hourly chart, price down, Moxie Indicator flat. So yeah, guys, again, if you like how I talk about this stuff and show you these things, and you like the way that the Moxie Indicator works, you can pick it up on StockCharts.com, as you can see right here, and you can have it for yourself. But look, right there and right there, you can see you got the two Moxie price triggers on the hourly chart that set this thing up pretty nicely. But going back to this, things are getting a bit frothy. We'll have to see how long this can actually sustain up there. I mean, this has been just a heck of a straight up move like this. And so, yeah, at this point, I think things are looking pretty good. I don't think we're in a bear market bounce. I don't think it's like August again. I think things are starting to broaden out and stuff is looking pretty good. And so I would be looking for pullbacks to be buyable. We just have to figure out where the buy is, where the dip is. But yeah, these things are looking pretty good. And if we look at the SPY, yeah, obviously pretty darn good, but it is it's getting up there. So just kind of putting some caution out there. It is really getting up there. Okay, so we'll have to see. Now remember also, this is a 3-day weekend coming up, and celebrating Juneteenth on Monday. And so I don't know, maybe people are gonna kind of pull back over for Friday tomorrow, because well, this is just getting kind of up there. It's getting kind of ridiculous. And then maybe they say, okay, hey, we're going to cash in our profits, and then we can hold. Then we'll be better positioned for the weekend. But yeah, big moves there. And then the other thing I'm kind of looking at is we look at the VIX. And it's been great. It has been trending down. I've been talking about this a lot. In fact, I cover this in the market update video that I told you guys about earlier. But what I'm noticing is the VIX has basically stopped going down, kind of putting in a double bottom, even though the market is screaming higher. So it's telling me that traders are starting to hedge. Okay, they're starting to buy some puts, and they're starting to say, okay, this is getting a little bit ridiculous, and we should be expecting some sort of pullback. Now, I don't think we're going to get a huge change of trend like that. I'm just saying we're probably going to get some sort of bounce in volatility, which should also correlate with the market moving down. We can see that with the UVXY in through here, come in a little bit closer, and you can actually see that at the end of the day, the UVXY actually had a nice little spike up like that. And I gave a heads up to my subscribers about that in the Moxie room, Moxie Trader room. So if you guys are interested, This is where you can find more real-time information. I know I hear a lot of people in the comments always like, what good is this video? It comes out a day late, all that kind of stuff. Well, you're getting it for free. So, if you guys want the stuff that I really talk about in the Moxie room, well, then come on over. That's the whole point of the room. But you can see here that we have price well outside of that 30 ATR and very much far off the 8 EMA. And again, if you look at the direction, the angle of the SPY compared to this very shallow slope of the UVXY, yeah, looks like this is starting to get bought up as a bit of a hedge. So we'll have to see if there's going to be kind of a bump or a spike in the UVXY that's going to correlate with the market pulling back. And then if we look at the IWM, another great thing that we were seeing, but of course up here it is up pretty high. Now this doesn't necessarily have to pull back hard. It can, but it can also just kind of go sideways to down. If this is going to be strong, it doesn't really have to fall apart or pull back hard. It can just go sideways. So I don't know, let's kind of keep our eyes open and our mind open to how the markets are going to fix their overbought condition and see which way they're going to go. But overall, I would be looking as dips being viable because this is looking great. And I think I told you guys last week, look, they're Moxie price trigger, Moxie price trigger, Moxie price trigger. So we're getting some good fresh signals, and there's definitely some energy behind them. Now the other thing is, let me show you over here, come over to the UUP. I've been talking about this a little bit, and it seems to be panning out right now, like this week. I was talking about this, how price was running into the underside of the monthly 10, and then saying, this might end up being a double top, and this could actually be an inverse trampoline move. Remember, price should not be over the 50 if the Moxie indicator is below 0. And so I was saying, hey, it seems to me like this might actually be the dollar starting to roll over and go down. And if that's the case, then we should be seeing, say, gold or GDX move up. Now, there's a bit of a disconnect. I will say it's very interesting that gold and GDX did not move this week compared to what the dollar did. I would have thought that there would be a move up, and I'll show you what that looks like also on the lower time frames. But overall, I'm also expecting to move up just because these are pulling back into what I would consider support and moving averages. And same thing here, pulling back into an area that I think was probably going to end up being support and seeing this move higher. If we look at GDX down here, the couple of things that I'm seeing as well is elf shoes. So leg, heel, arch of the foot, ball of the foot, and I'm going to see if there's going to be an elf toe coming up on that. And part of the reason I'm looking at is right here, price below the 50, the Moxie indicator above 0. So I took a trade on this. We got stopped out just because it came down just a little bit like that. You never quite know where to set a stop, but it seems to me there might be something here. So I might have to jump in for a second time and make sure we pick that up. All right, so a couple other interesting names. If you want to see ACHR, if you want to see how the market is broadening out and how we are, look at this. This is a fairly speculative stock. Archer Aviation, I think it's electric airplanes or alternative fuel airplanes. Yeah, talk about speculative. And you can see that it's been, they've had some bear market pops and stuff like that, but look at what's happening now. This looks like a real nice, legitimate move. Real nice. You can see there was the Moxie price trigger, and there was the Moxie price trigger, and there was the Moxie price trigger, each timing this very, very nicely for the move up. So again, if you guys want the Moxie indicator, we have it for sale, available at StockCharts.com and some other places if you're interested. So yeah, talk about even speculative stuff, risky stuff is starting to move up, which is fantastic to see. It means we're going to have more fun of a market coming along. How about Joby? Again, Joby Aviation, kind of that electric aviation stuff. Look at this. We are breaking out in a big way. Holy cow. Just amazing stuff. And you know how it started? Daily trampoline move right there. And here you go. There's your Moxie price trigger. And it never looked back. Never, ever looked back. That was a double. Look at that. $4 to $8. Nice double on that one. All right, then some other things I'm noticing is Nike. Now, do we think Nike is going to go away? And we think that they're going to fail? Is there any chance that they're going to not succeed in this world? I doubt. So for whatever reason that this thing decided to come back down, I think it was overblown. And I bet you anything this is going to end up being a pretty good dip buy, just like it was back there. And you can see here again, there's the Moxie price trigger. So I'm waiting for a little bit of a pullback on here, but I do think that Nike is going to be another good buy point. Again, talking about generational opportunities, I wouldn't say that, well, maybe I could. Maybe I could say this is generational, because look at this thing. It came all the way back down here. This seems like a great price to get in on a legendary name, and it doesn't happen too often. So yeah, I think this is looking pretty good. So for Nike, if you guys want to go pick some of that up. And then something else I want to show, IonQ. And just as an example, let me also kind of show this on the monthly, weekly time frame. Again, look at these things. These are really starting to make big moves after being down for a very long time. They are starting to get over their moving averages. They're engaging with them. They're working properly. They're looking good. Now, if we look at IonQ, up here around that third ATR, gapping off the 8 EMA. So it's a little up there. I would certainly expect this to either pull back or flag for a while, because it's too high, and we'll see what it can do. Now, again, it doesn't necessarily have to drop, although it could. We're kind of seeing if that's going to happen. But I think that its upward movement is probably done for the near term. I would say let this thing calm down, let it flag, maybe let it pull back, and then we'll see if there's another opportunity to buy this on a dip. And also the thing that's notifying you, look at this, price over the hourly 50, Moxie indicator below 0. So that's an inverse trampoline move. It's basically saying, maybe you could short it. It depends if it's going to go that way. Otherwise, it just says don't be long right now. And then Palantir is another similar thing. I mean, obviously, a very, very strong name, but again, too strong. At this point, be real careful. Be really careful about holding a full position up there, and I would definitely not be initiating a move up here. It is just up, up, up there. So watch out for pullbacks. This one's done a fairly good job of following the hourly 50, but be careful about this negative divergence that's setting up. At some point, it'll run, and it just won't be strong enough, and then it'll get a drop. Now, I think that drop will eventually be viable, but right now it's not a good place to chase the long side, and you really just need to be careful on your existing positions with that. So, all right, guys, hope you enjoyed it. Remember to check this out, the 2 market update webinars that I have, and I look forward to you guys enjoying it. Thanks again. See you at the next one.